The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Hello, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Aisha Morrison, Jess Navarez, Brianna Aldridge. We got the gang back. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Wonderful.
Preparing for this weather. And,
Not the look.
Y'all sound a little too-dull from
No.
Here we go. Let her do it.
It's not necessary.
I missed you last week.
Wake up!
Too, man. Yeah, you got to do it twice.
Did we
keep
miss
playing
Aisha?
it.
One more
Play it again
time.
One more time. Wake up! There we go.
There.
All right.
Beautiful.
We love it.
A
We
good
love it.
omen to start the show.
How y'all feeling? Y'all, I need some more energy.
I think it's the weather.
That's
Yeah, I know.
We
The weather's
have
pretty
energy.
gloomy outside.
I seen Bree when she was walking her. She had a little hoodie on.
You see me
Gross
struggling outside.
trying to
protect my
It's windy.
It's gross outside.
It'd be like that. It's fine. It's not gross inside, though. You want to know why?
Because the
Because
coach
Brian
here we go.
Schottenheimer just...
Oh,
You know what?
She made it. It was off camera.
In
you
real
made
life, I actually made it for real.
it. Yeah, totally.
Basketball was not my sport. It was tennis. But anyways, Brian Schottenheimer
You would never know about that. Ever.
hitting the nail on, the coaching staff is fire. They're excited. We got a chance to listen to pretty much all of them. If anyone wants to go through the coaching staff and just read that. So everyone knows, because, of course, people don't.
It's a lot of new humans.
That's
There's a lot of new faces for this
Here,
roster.
I'm gonna
so
let
go
you do
ahead
it.
and
I'm going to give you the honor.
Yeah, there we go.
I read.
Oh,
We
my
got-
You want to read it?
Yeah, there we
Okay, I'm about to say some.
I don't
of
want
these
to
names
butcher
I
some of
can't.
these names.
Somebody read it.
Oh, because
Don't
we're
wanna
going to mess
butcher
it
the
up.
names.
Okay,
Right.
so you got Clayton Adams that's coming over from the Arizona Cardinals as the offensive coordinator. He has 7 years of experience in the game. Junior Adams he just came over from Oregon. He'll be coaching the wide receivers. You have Ramon Chinyoung, I believe, who is the assistant offensive line coach. Ken Dorsey comes over from Cleveland as the pass game specialist. He's going to be doing things with the quarterbacks, I'm assuming, and things like that. Ryan Fetter, Barnacles. He's a game management coordinator. Thank God.
All right.
Derek
I hate you.
Feeder. Thank you so
It's
much.
fine. It's going
Jazzy.
to take some getting used to.
Derek
because, you know.
You have Dele Harding. He's the QB fellowship. What is that?
Sorry,
We're trying to figure that
we're going to
out.
figure
All
it out.
right.
We're on this together.
Okay, again, Derek Foster is going to be taking over as the running backs coach. You have Connor Riley as the offensive line coach. He comes over from Kansas State. Boop, 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 boop. Steve Shimko, who was actually present here last year, is getting a little bit more of an opportunity to work with the quarterbacks this year. I think last year he was more of like a consultant or something of that nature. He comes over from Boston College. I liked what he did with their offensive line there. Tequan Underwood, assistant wide receivers coach. Lunda Wells, we already know who he is, the tight ends coach. Then we get to Matt Eberflus, who takes over as the defensive coordinator. I think his last tenure was with the Bears.
Yeah.
Prior to that, he's with the Colts. Brian Being, the assistant defensive line coach. You have Dave Borgonzi.
Yeah.
There is no A in there, Aisha. As the coach takes over as the linebacker coach, you have J.J. Clark as the defensive assistant / quality control. Andre Curtis is going to be the defensive pass game coordinator and also be working with the safeties. You have David Overstreet, who will be the secondary / corners coach. He comes over from the Bears. Andre Curtis comes over from the Bears as well. Tanzil Smart. I think that's okay. Defensive assistant quality control. Darian Thompson, who's the safety nickels. Darian Thompson, you are funny. You are funny. How is he? You know what? Do your thing, big dog. Come on. To be a former player and to become a coach and to survive, in some sense, multiple coaching staffs. Come on, Darian. I see you, big dog. Aaron White Cotton is going to be the defensive line coach. He comes over from the Jets. I'm very excited about that hire, by the way. When you get down to special teams, you have Nick Sorensen as a special team coordinator. Pray Saints. Carlos Polk, assistant special teams coordinator. He's in his second year. And then the strength and conditioning coaches, Tyler Bowles. It's Boyle.
Sorry, go ahead.
You know what? Chief of Staff, Harold Nash is going to be the strength and conditioning coordinator. Cedric Smith, the assistant strength and conditioning. Kendall Smith, who is another person, he's returning, as well as the assistant strength and conditioning coordinator, and Braylon Tatum as the assistant strength and coordinating in sports and science. So this is a lot of change really quick. I'm glad that they were able to get it done before draft. And so, these guys can kind of get acclimated. So a lot of new faces in the building, my friends.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were said. My bad, go ahead.
No, I was just saying a lot. I think the press release that was sent was 17 new assistant coaches. So it's we going to struggle to say some of these new names for a little bit as a group.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But this is the start of something new, right? Well, how do you guys feel about it?
It was giving High School Musical. It's the start. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
New.
Yeah, me neither.
They're
Keep going.
yeah.
All right. Well, if you get it, you get it. For me, it's I figured if you were starting with a new head coach, it would be kind of a new era for the Cowboys. And naturally, in this business, like you kind of saw with Dan Quinn, a lot of people will follow suit. So I was kind of interested to see how some of these McCarthy coaches would kind of follow suit and how that would go. But yeah, you know what? Clean house, new start, new year, new me, maybe. But it was needed, and I'm interested to kind of just get the ball rolling. Up next, you have free agency, you have draft, you have all those important milestones to really paint the picture of what your team is going to be. So I'm interested to see how they do it and how different philosophy wise things will be for this team, because it's been the same. And so I think when you get content in a certain thing and a certain way of doing things, that could kind of breed some mistakes in some way. So I'm interested to see how the philosophy change will be implemented in different.
So there was a lot of good things being said, and today's hearing from all the assistants and coordinators. But one thing I did get from them is that they believe in Shoddy. I believe it was Clayton Adams, that new offense coordinator, that had said that it hasn't been easy as far as coming up with the philosophy that everyone kind of agrees with, because it hasn't been easy, but they're staying in hotels together. They're in a room all day together, pretty much trying to build that cohesiveness as far as the coaching staff first. And then as far as the players, they're trying to reach out to them, but get to know them on a more personal level rather than, just starting out the gate getting to talk football. So that was something that I loved hearing from all the coaches. But there's a guy that I got to go one-on-one with a little bit. It's Andre Curtis, who'll be working with the safeties. And something that last year I feel was a struggle with just learning, all of us kind of talked about it, was playing to the strengths of guys like Donovan Wilson, who plays better at the line of scrimmage, Malik Hooker, who's obviously better in coverage. And I'd asked Andre Curtis, what was some of the things that you see on tape from Dono? And he said exactly that. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is something that you want from a guy that's going to be working with the safeties. And just hearing something like that, knowing that these guys are trying to learn how these guys play and playing to their strengths, does that make y'all feel a little bit more comfortable, a little confident?
Something somebody asked me the other day, do you think the Cowboys are going to be good? And I said, honestly, I'm more excited to see that they have it was hard to see, right? As soon as Shoddy was like, okay, what's going to be behind them? Nothing's going to be new. And then we started like, oh, are they taking the run game serious? Oh, we got a new mind. On the defensive end type of vibes, gonna be a new defense again, and there's all these questions, but it's great. It's exciting to see his coaching staff, but who the players? That's what somebody asked me, and I started laughing. I was like, so it's even funny to me. I know the big storyline is are the Cowboys next in line, or how close or far are they from the Eagles? Well, who are the players? Mm-hmm. We got how many free agents? That's it's hard to, and you can watch as much tape as you want. That might not be who you got to work with next season. So to me, it's I I still feel like they're a little bit behind the ball in that sense. But so is every other team who hired a new head coach in the offseason, right? So I think that is the main question now before I can say, like, yeah, I believe in this because his philosophy is great, but he's going to have a whole new set of people he's working with, right? Like, we don't know if it's going to look younger, older. Are they going to get that, that defensive tackle in the offseason that's going to be veteran pieces, or are they going to be like those favorite words, developing, that we keep saying?
Yep.
So,
What you got?
Yeah, mama.
Oh, I was waiting for you. Actually, I got to look this way. I'm sorry. I was waiting for you, Aisha.
Oh no, I mean, I guess just to piggyback off of what Bree said is, when you look within this coaching staff, I mean, obviously we did kind of a deep dive last week, and when I see guys like Junior Adams, Clayton Adams, when I see guys even like a Ken Dorsey, Eberflus, like that have tenure, that have experience, that people know who they are, I'm looking within their schemes and what they do, and I'm like, the football person in me is like, ooh, something new. Because I do think a guy like Clayton Adams gives you an advantage as a coach, which is what we're looking for, is your coaching staff giving you, we clearly got to see in the Super Bowl, baby, it was talent, but it also was like, this coach is out coaching you right now. And that's the reality of it. And I would like for the Cowboys to have more of that. But to Bree's point, is the way that, and this is what happened with Philly, is the way that you kind of make it through that acclimation period at the beginning of the season where your team is maybe trying to figure out a new scheme. You have the talent to make up for that, to kind of overshadow that, for them to get the scheme and fit into it. And so it is very contingent, to your point, Bree, on if they are going to be aggressive in free agency or if they're going to kind of sit back and chill. And I know Nicole mentioned before the show, some of your star players are asking for that.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons.
They talking about that.
Literally talking about that. Willing to take less money for that. But I was listening to Talking Cowboys earlier, and Isaiah made a good point about just like the fact that Micah's willing to take less money, but only if that's guaranteeing
That they're
something
Right.
in return.
A give and a take.
A give and a take,
Yeah.
and I like that point, Isaiah. That was good.
was
right there.
good.
Because I mean, but do y'all think that this front office is going to do that though?
I mean,
Well, first of all, I don't want him to take less money. As a player, as someone who's a player first, I don't want him to take less money. He's earned his money.
Yeah.
He's earned his money. And we see teams pay stars like Micah and still be able to manipulate the cap, still be able to cut people if necessary to make room for money. There's other avenues to do these things. And I think he deserves what he deserves.
Yeah, I agree. And, as far as being aggressive in free agency, and to answer your question, if I think it's going to happen,
Pray, Saints.
do you want the realistic answer or do you want the
not
wishful
gonna
thinking
stress me out
answer? Because there's two answers here and they're completely different. Realistically, do I think you get your big splash free agents over and over and over and over? No, but I could see something happening very much so, Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks-esque, where they are great players, they're talented players, but they're not the sexiest name in the bunch, right? So I think you kind of have to tamper your expectations when it comes to Cowboys and free agency and just understand what the patterns have been, what the circumstances are, and how things kind of work. And, to your point, Aisha, I agree. Micah should not have to take a pay cut. But he's said multiple times, I've talked to him about this multiple times. I've heard him say it to other people. He is willing to take that pay cut. He shouldn't have to.
win, 'cause he
He
wants
shouldn't
to
have to. But he is invested in being a Dallas Cowboy. And he's made that very clear. And, I think for Micah and him having his family, him having, goals past football,
Yes, ma'am.
he has a very good head on his shoulders where he knows what he wants, he knows what he deserves. But I really hate when, outside people that don't really have conversations with him twist the narrative of he's greedy and everything, because when you talk to him, he's not. He really just wants to play football. His whole life is playing football, and money really is not a factor to him as much as people would like to think. It's a factor because we're all human. We need it to survive. But I'm not looking forward to those headlines and those narratives when time comes. But to answer your question, I'm going to expect the very least so I can be pleasantly surprised if good stuff does happen.
What's frustrating, too, is that he's been, and you made some valid points. I wanted to say, he's been mentioning that he wants to get this done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And not only would getting it done as soon as possible give them a kind of a setup to be able to look into free agency and know where their money is going, be able to allocate it, push it down the line. Like, getting ahead of it is not only going to, you know, help you with him in the market for him, but also do things for you to open up your pocketbook in free agency and know what your financials look like. Get ahead of it. Just, I mean, God.
And I think he's putting the pressure on the front office to do something that they typically are not known for doing.
Yeah.
Because towards the end of the season, he said, I don't need to be the $40 million guy. Recently, he said, I want them to be aggressive. I want them to try to save maybe a Oso or a Chauncey and not be the top dollar guy. But obviously, he wants to get paid. And I don't like the fact that he would have to take less. But again, $2 mil, $3 mil less to Micah Parsons, and we're talking about a championship. I can't think of another team who has currently 2 players top dollar besides the Chiefs. That's the only team that I can think of that are paying 2 players top dollar on the market besides the Chiefs. So when you want Micah Parsons in the building, which he on all the walls, we do, right? He wants to be
He's right
here.
there.
Oh, he's behind me?
He's literally right there behind you.
Look at him. He's literally
Not actually, but our beautiful wallpaper.
But I think that's the sacrifice to have Micah Parsons on this team, to be talking deep playoff runs. And I don't see it this season, but in a season or two, being realistically a Super Bowl team that's playing in the Super Bowl with 3 top elite players. And that's how you get it. Somebody has to make a sacrifice. Right. I don't love it either that, you know, he's going to have to make less. Now, if we're talking about taking 5, 6 less, like, be serious. But if we're talking $2 million, what's that?
You know, maybe they can
incentives,
figure out how to allocate it in bonuses, things like that. And that's what I mean by you can manipulate this cap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you
stop playing with us.
If you're proactive, absolutely. If you're proactive about it and you sit here and you figure out the math that it can math and you can get everything done that you want to get done.
Come on,
but guess what that takes? Being ahead of it, which is something you just have not seen in recent times. You have not seen you haven't seen the proactive part of this that put us in the rut of, you know, even last year, Dak's contract. That's all we were talking about, literally until kickoff.
Which was insane.
Which at that point,
him walking, like, running out, like, he just
he
looks 60 mil lighter.
You should. But, you know, it shouldn't have taken that long because all offseason we were talking about, you could have had this, you could have had that, you could have had this, but you didn't, because guess what? You didn't be proactive about that situation. And so for me, if your star quarterback was priority, and he should have been more of one, to get the deal done 5 minutes before, 20 minutes before kickoff, like, what's saying Micah Parsons is going to be any different this offseason? That's what I'm saying. Just realistic expectations.
And you're not put in a position of where, and this is no shade to Carl Lawson. He came and proved himself. But you're not picking from the, watch how I say this.
Yeah.
But you're getting the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
To start in free agency, rather than getting guys that you have to wait and kind of not develop, but it takes some time for them to get used to the system and things like that. So I don't know. Micah Parsons has earned it. He's proven himself. He's used this past year specifically to show that not only is he a playmaker on the field, but he can be a trusted guy in the locker room in terms of being a respected guy in the locker room and just showing that maturity. So hopefully the Cowboys get it done ASAP. All right.
Are we taking some calls?
Absolutely.
I saw your tweet.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead and call us at 1-888-855-2297. The number is 1-888-855-2297. Ben, y'all heard that. All right. We got to take our first break. We'll be back.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take your steak, cornbread, cobbers, pot pie, and potatoes, and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Come on out to AT&T Stadium on February 22nd for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship Series. Watch the world's best two-wheel racers converge for one night of nonstop action. Enjoy unprecedented access to the sport's biggest stars with an up-close view of their race bikes and team rigs at FanFest. Tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium. Boom.
Ding. Boom. All right. I just felt like I needed to do that.
That was beautiful.
I was pressing the button for you. Was you making the sound?
Yeah.
That's how
Real one.
we vibed. Okay.
Real one. Love that. All right. One of the things that was asked for defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus is just about his defensive philosophy, and he said it's pretty simple. We take the ball away. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. We stop the run. We want to make exciting plays for our football team. That's really what we do. Thoughts?
Do it.
I mean,
my thought.
His system and the way that he runs his defenses is proven. His defenses do take the ball away at a high clip. They do stop the run at a high clip. It really is, again, contingent on them getting him the players, because the system that he runs, like the guys on the back end, the secondary, they're not going to be doing as much disguising and things like that with Zimmer. The front four is just, I do think he might get creative with some of the blitz packages and some of the stuff he does, but he's like Fangio over there, dog. He like, hey, we winning with 4.
Yeah.
Can you win with 4 right now? Absolutely not. That's true. So he's saying what he's saying, and I hope that he has the freedom to, have some input on some of the things they do, because I don't want him to be like Zimmer going into the first preseason game being like, yeah, man, I need a defensive tackle. What?
Yeah.
At this point in time, yeah. So his system's proven, and I mean, a lot of people he had some of his issues as a head coach, but as a DC, he's sound. Right.
He did talk about how important it is to have a defensive tackle and how crucial those positions are in order for you to get home with 4. But that means you gotta
dropping subs. He dropping subs.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Kendrick and Drake beef.
Stop.
Oh my God.
But you gotta bring back also Diggy Zoo. I'm sorry.
Pray Saints.
You gotta sign him.
We
gotta re-sign him.
You skipping?
I'm sorry.
Skipping.
Yeah, girl. We have
That's not skipping. It's just
we have a whole segment about that coming
I know,
up.
But you're right though.
Skipping,
A
but
whole
you're right.
segment.
It's not skipping.
You
We're gonna get to our letters
it's
to
on
the
your
front office
test.
in the last segment, y'all.
Yeah, we have a real
But
fun game that Nicole just
my
spoiled.
bad.
No, she didn't. She okay.
It's a good teaser.
You gotta re-sign also Diggy Zoo.
Yeah.
But my bad.
Go ahead, Nugget.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you got?
No, you
What
do.
got, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What y'all think about
Here's the thing.
Eberflus's
Eberflus-
quote?
Here's the
quote.
thing.
Oh, what she got? she
We're over here getting sidetracked.
I would love to see the Cowboys do that. The problem is there's still so many question marks because of the amount of free agents and key defensive free agents, to your point, Nicole, Osa and Chauncey, Jordan Lewis, and these guys that are predominantly known as good ball hawks or can strip sack or bat balls down, whatever the case is, take the ball away. They can take a ball away, and it's been proven under the right system that plays up to their strengths. So for me, that sounds great, and I feel very confident that Matt Eberflus can do that with whatever roster he has. It's still so cloudy to what that roster looks like because we don't know yet. We won't know for a while. And then I think, draft will give us a little bit more insight on that. But until we actually just have a set roster, it's very hard to imagine what that looks like right now, especially if you lose a Chauncey or an Osa, and he's talking about this in free agency, then you're kind of going to be in panic mode, right? Because you don't know what that looks like. You don't know if you'll retain someone in free agency. Right now, it sounds great, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I'll look forward to it even more when I know for sure who specifically he's talking about.
Yeah, same. And piggyback, I feel like you guys are hitting on the hook. It's hard, like I said earlier, it's hard to get, this is going to work without seeing the piece going to get. I'm hoping with the coach with 17 years experience came in here like, hey, I'll take this job, but I got to have a say-so and I got to have my hand in this and this and that. I can't imagine hearing about even what you said earlier, Jess, about type of person he is. I can't imagine he took this job without having any type of say-so on how much. That's the question. And you're talking about the draft. They do got a lot of coaches they're bringing in that are younger when you're looking at the coaching staff compared to last year that I like because even if it's an offensive guy, these are kids that they just been going against these last couple years. I feel like that's an advantage because as much as you as someone who's been in the game, you're coaching NFL, and you're paying attention. That's your job. You have people in the building paying attention. That's their job. But I feel like having coaches who are actually physically day in, day out, that's who they're watching film on. Hey, I struggled going against this guy.
I agree.
Yeah. I think that is what I like most in just taking it like a step further. But there's a lot of injuries. Top guys coming back. We're not going to see them in the beginning. So I think I'm not mad if they focus on, as much as I would like to see a wide receiver. I'm not mad if they take care of this D-tackle position, defensive end, something. They're injured. I was thinking the other day, I didn't even meet Sam Williams before I got to Oxnard. He was out.
Really?
So I'm like, those injuries trended, and this team never had a shot to really be healthy and get that depth. So it's going to be exciting when some of the health issues come together. They start looking at the draft, and it's a lot to be excited about. At the same time, it's kind of like to be the Debbie Downer in the room. It's kind of like, all right,
we don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know.
Aisha, what do you think about the defensive tackle position in the draft so far? There are a lot of guys that you feel could possibly fit what Matt Eberflus wants to do here.
I mean, honestly, this is a very DT-rich class. Thank the Lord. If you need one, this is the one.
Okay.
This is the time to get one. Yeah.
No?
Huh?
Okay.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I bet. Go ahead. Nothing. No.
I didn't say all that.
No.
No, I do believe that this DT class is you're going to see some guys get picked in the fourth. We ain't got no dang fourth.
We gave it away.
I'm about to fight.
Yeah.
But you're going to see some guys go in the later rounds that are gentlemen that you might think can go earlier, or there might be a run of them. I hope not. But as far as the defensive tackle class, you got a lot of guys that are 3 techs, but do have some nose flex, or you have some guys that are just set noses. When you look at a guy like Mason Graham, DT out of Michigan, he's 6'3", 320 pounds, maybe one of the most agile DTs in this draft. I mean, last year you had Brandon Fisk out of Florida State University. He put on a clinic at the combine. I think we might see something similar with Mason Graham. He pops out of his stance. He's very explosive. He pursues to the ball. His foot quickness is fantastic. Some people might be kind of weird about his length because his arms aren't that long. However, this is a difference maker on your defensive line. We even looked at the Rams this year. They went heavy. They got Jared Verse and they got Brandon Fisk, and that defensive line with those guys, you got to double team somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for. Again, we talked about Micah earlier, building around Micah, and we talked about Osa. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Also, too, your guy, Deion Walker out of DT out of Kentucky, a mammoth of a human, 6'7", 342 pounds. This gentleman is a problem for offensive linemen because he requires a double team. He commands a double team, maybe a triple team because of the size, but he is very quick for his size, very productive in college. I know that's something that Will McClay told us on the draft show, that that's what he looks for as well. The pad level, sometimes he can get a little high. You worry kind of maybe about his motor, but his conditioning, from what I know, is good. This is a guy that can play the nose tackle position, and he does display some pass rush ability, and I think Eberflus would be interested in him, in someone like him. Also, too, you have Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. He is 6'3", 305 pounds, and he don't look no 305 pounds. He moves. This is a 3-tech. Again, another guy that, if you aren't able to bring back Osa, that I think has some similarities to Osa's play. He's a good mix of size and speed. He has a very initial quick step. He plays the run with a lot of want to. This is one of the highest ranking run-stopping defensive tackles in the NCAA this past year, and he's very disruptive. I mean, we're talking batted balls. We're talking about penetration, putting a dent right inside of the offensive line. I think he can improve on his balance and his flexibility. He's not super bendy, and I wonder if that's a trend, because Sam Williams, when he came in, wasn't super bendy, didn't have a lot of flexibility, but just a crazy athlete. I just think that he knows how to reestablish leverage and reset the line of scrimmage. And what I mean by that is, when that offensive line attacks you, are you able to stand your ground and redirect them? Are you able to stand up in there and take on double teams, two gap, whatever the case may be, to free up other guys? This guy has the ability to do that. That's something that Eberflus is going to be looking for, because, again, if you're going to rush with 4, he wants guys that can get upfield but also have a willingness to stop the run. So as we're going through the draft process, we need to be looking at guys that are like, okay, he got a little something to him, but also, too, how willing is he to stop the run? Because that is what he cares about, Eberflus, as a coach, because that's what's going to set up you and free you up to do everything. So, yeah, it's a lot of good names in this defensive class, girl.
That's good.
How much pressure's on Mozzie now?
I was about to ask you that. I was about to bring that up, because year 1, all right. Look, we understood what happened year 1. We get it. We're not even going to count that. All right. That's, Year 2, you kind of had to rebuild what happened in year 1. And you were coming back from a shoulder injury and, rebuild muscle, put on weight the right way, like he talked about. And you saw slow progress. Year 3, you can't see any more slow progress. It needs to be progress, period. No more slow progress. Like, for me, I'm not saying Mozzie's on the hot seat by any means, but what I am saying is, if this draft is as sexy as you're talking about, that starting position is going to be one that he has to earn back, because you're not the only option anymore. And to be fair, I think we can all agree that if Mozzie wasn't the only option in that position, he probably wouldn't have gotten as much playing time as he did. And that's no knock to him at all. It's just the position his year 1 had put him into,
He didn't have the
he
depth
was playing
either,
catch up,
right?
And so, there's a lot of pressure on Mozzie, I would say. You usually look at that year 2 jump as being that pressure spot for a lot of these players, but I think for Mozzie, he kind of falls into that as a year 3 jump, but I think he falls into that so much more, because this is his make or break season, to me, to how he kind of proceeds with this team or just his career in general. I think he has, I will say, one of the, to me, in my brain, he's one of the players with the most pressure going into next season.
I agree. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
In this scheme, it's a lot of responsibility to be the nose tackle in this scheme specifically. And I just think, even when you talk about, we're going to talk about it, but even when we talk about Osa, he thrives when he has a nose tackle next to him that can play.
Yeah.
So, he better come on with it, because Eberflus, I do believe, might, if he doesn't see what he wants to see from the nose position, you're going to be like, hey, y'all need to get on the phone.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Call somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody call 911.
That's the thing. It's a reminder that as much as you could do all the mocks, and you just don't know until they get on the field. So he's a reminder that, you might want to do something in free agency. They don't always work out like you plan.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. And I know it's all about cost and who's available, but again, Eagles did it. Eagles did it for somebody very, very cheap, and dang.
And some
Don't remind me.
positions need proven
still mad.
talent there.
Yeah.
Some positions, like defensive tackle.
We've talked about it.
Yeah,
Like,
some of these positions, it takes too long to you just
to wait around for it
and for them to develop. You want a guy to come in right now that is that can play, that you don't have to wait on. And that's how I feel. If you're going to attack, I don't think the Cowboys necessarily need to attack offensive line in first round, but if you are going to bring in another tackle because you're not sure, you need to go get that guy in free agency.
Yes.
Don't go get a nugget and try to develop the nugget.
You got to be patient with the nugget.
You got to be patient with a nugget. Bring the big dog in here that's already established and let these young players too, because that's the thing about Mozzie. Mentorship.
Yes.
100%. Having someone that is there to even teach him, he's going through having different guys come in every offseason that he has to play next to and try to pour into him. Let's find somebody that's going to be here for a little while with the kiddo.
I always go back to my conversations with Jonathan Hankins about this because it really did teach me so much. And I know I've talked about this a million times on this podcast alone. But
you're going to talk about it again.
I'm going to say it again because here's the thing. Jonathan Hankins always talked about how it took him about 3 years to really get the position and fully understand it as a nose tackle. And he talked about just the details of why it's so difficult and, all the things and how long it took him to progress in the NFL compared to college. And he explained two very different things here. However, my thing with Mozzie or anybody you draft at this point, if it's a nose tackle or whatever, okay, you have time to develop and get better. But with Mozzie, it's going on year 3 now of we're still waiting to see what he is because you just don't know. Regardless, there was injuries, there was issues that held him up, there was scheme changes, he lost the weight, he's putting it back on. There's been a lot of change for Mozzie. But for me, especially looking at the injuries you have on the defense, like you just mentioned, Bree, great point. You look at the free agencies within your defense, free agency names in your defensive line alone.
Oh.
If you somehow cannot retain any of those, do you know how down and out you are on the? Yeah, I'm gonna have to bulk up, girl. We're gonna have to bulk up. We're gonna have to bulk up.
Listen,
I might have to grow a few feet, but we'll figure it out. We'll go out there.
We don't have to go to the butcher, baby.
But the point is, that's the point though, is you have to think worst case scenario. You can't retain that talent. Sam Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Chauncey Golston, Oso Odigizua.
Carl Lawson.
You have so many names. You have so many names. Say you don't retain any of them. What are you doing? Are you drafting? What if you don't? What are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. Because it might be a run on DT.
Girl, don't stress me out.
And baby, you ain't even got no. You ain't got no fourth.
On that note,
don't.
We gotta go. We gotta
second break.
Don't stress
yourself. I like how we're talking
out.
about free agency, right? Because
I'm so irritated.
We have a chance to put ourselves in a different light, right? And just write a letter to the front office if you were able to plead a case of why you would want a player to stay. So we'll be right back with that here on Girls Talk Boys Talk.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy Calvin. This stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take your steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
The most action-packed motorsports experience in the world returns to Arlington. Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, March 8th for Monster Jam. Get ready to cheer, scream, and be amazed as massive Monster Jam trucks take over Arlington. Tickets are available now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. We've got our letters, but I'm going to let y'all go first. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, girl. Light it up.
We are again writing our. This is
Free agency
not for real,
letters.
for real. Okay,
Yeah.
This ain't for
That
real,
was for
for real.
We're not mailing these letters, please.
We're not really mailing these. These are just letters,
I know.
as if we were able to plead our case to the front office.
I'm
Of-
They can be funny.
Yeah, of a free agent, we would like the team to
I wrote
retain.
mine to
There we go.
Jerry.
Okay.
Mine says, "Dear Mr. Jerry."
I love that for you.
Oh, my
We listen and we don't judge on Cowboys, Girls Talk, Boys Talk, but I think we can all agree the running back by committee was not the move and confused everyone from the coaching staff to the players to the people in the stands. I will also admit, going back to last year in Oxnard, I was buying into the question if Zeke still had the juice when he in fact did not. No disrespect. I think 2016 Zeke was amazing and he did a lot for this franchise. And I think he even might find production elsewhere next season, just not in this organization. Zeke not making one of the road trips for disciplinary reasons was giving messy and made my head hurt. With that being said, Rico Dowdle remained poised and showed out for all undrafted free agents all over, surpassing his 1,000 yards milestone. Rico's market value is looking to be about $6.2 million. That's play money, Jerry. Rico only played 52% of the snaps, so imagine if the offensive play caller fed him and created a solid offensive line to block for him. You don't have to answer now. Just sleep on it. That's my letter.
Come on.
You tell him, girl. You let him know.
Don't
Don't you daddle Bree. Don't you ever daddle her.
Go ahead, read your letter.
I got a sick
I can't wait to hear Jess's letter.
All right, I wrote a poem.
Oh.
Bye.
It is titled, it's an original poem by Jess Navarez, titled, Can You See What I See? Jerry, oh Jerry, I've come to implore. Please don't let Chauncey Golston walk out that door. He's a gem, a force, a cowboy to keep. Don't let him slip away. Instead, let's talk about taking that leap. Last season, he showed just what he's worth. 4 sacks, 2 pass defended. He's proved he's a force to this earth. A defensive lineman with grit and might, always charging forward, ready for the fight. Among the best, he ranks with pride. Number 4 in quarterback pressures for the Cowboys last season. Yeah. He's that guy. In total pressures, he's got the juice. And with his tackling efficiency, you've really got no excuse. Ooh. With a motor that doesn't know how to stall, his passion for the pass rush, Jerry, he's got it all. So, Jerry, please hear my humble plea. Extend that contract and don't let him free. Because the Cowboys need him, no doubt, no debate. Retain him and help seal the Cowboys' fate. Don't let him walk. Don't let him stray. Keep 99 wearing the blue and gray. I understand there's much work to do, but with Chauncey Golston, there's no doubt he's a guy you need to pursue.
Okay.
So get ready to make that call. Jerry, just get it done. And with Chauncey, Matt Eberflus's defense can shine like the Texas sun.
Come on, Barb.
Oh, she killed
There's
it.
a lot of rhyming in there. I'd expect.
I'm not gonna lie, that took me hours.
Nah.
That took me hours.
That
And
was
even-
good, Jess.
Even before I was sitting in my car, I was like reading it through. Guys, that took me a long time.
She cooked.
You used to excel. You used to excel when they used to make us do them soliloquies and haikus
Facts.
and stuff.
Man.
It's all the Taylor Swift I listen to.
You know what? That makes total sense. Hey, listen.
I'm part of the tortured poets department.
Y'all know me, man. I'm real simple with it. All right. Dear Cowboys front office.
That.
It's literally the same I did. Sorry, keep going.
You ain't got no DTs.
Oh.
Osa is a DT. Oso Odighizu is a DT. Not only is he a defensive tackle, he's only missed one game in his whole career. He was first in QB hits last year in 2024. He was top 3 in pressures, top 3 in pass rush win rate, and 11th in run stops.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you were
staring?
I was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Just bring him back. It's not that complicated. You don't even have a starting place at this point in time. I think that Osa has shown that he has done enough to be a guy that is a staple on this team. So just re-sign him. It's not that complicated to me, y'all. I'm not gonna do all this extra cut and dry. I loved your poem, but honestly, you ain't got no DTs. That's where it kind of stopped and ended for me. Like just said, like,
Right.
if you don't re-sign some of these guys, you starting from scratch.
Not
Got
even
your
that.
mind?
We're gonna have to go out there.
I ain't going out there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
I'm
will
gonna fall out.
I'm not suited up.
I will. Bet.
No.
Bet.
It ain't happening.
But no, like, I do think that what Osa did was impressive. To finish the season,
100%.
especially I think of the last 9 games of the season, he was one of the highest ranked defensive tackles in the NFL. That's what a lot of people have been looking at from him. A lot of people feel like he tapers off at the end of the year. I think he showed that he's capable of doing that. But also, too, I think him and Micah are becoming roadies in a sense as far as how they're able to play next to each other. Like, Jerry, for the love of God, please don't make us start from scratch.
Yeah.
Like they talk about, again, you talk about drafting and developing and bringing guys. You drafted this guy from UCLA. He has developed into one of the better pass rushing 3 techs in the league. Just re-sign him. It almost feels like a punishment.
And if you see it, all 31 other teams are gonna see it.
Well, honestly, I was creeping. I was creeping on other teams' Twitters.
Yeah.
They want him.
They
want
interested.
him. Yeah.
People are
They
interested.
should be.
So don't be late to the party. Be proactive. Do your job. Do your job,
Yeah.
GM.
There's a lot of teams that probably want a lot of these free agents.
I'm about to
Yeah.
faint.
There's some great names.
I would
on
like
there.
this franchise to want that.
like who, Nicole?
Oh, let's go. Let's go, girl.
Let's go.
Y'all's just all
Like-
good and mine's like on the fly.
No, mine is literally it's
All right.
fine.
Go ahead, mama.
ahead.
Like Jordan Lewis. Dear Cowboys front office. What?
So cute. It's like
Christmas letter.
Go ahead.
it's like
Santa.
no, it's giving wicked. You can't because it's in a letter.
Toss.
Okay.
Okay,
Let
go ahead, baby. Go.
Dear Cowboys front office, let me get straight to the point.
Oh.
You all have 26 players that hit the free agency market in a few weeks. But there's one that I have to stand 10 toes down for to keep him here in Dallas. That's Jordan Lewis. Honestly, letting him go would be like trying to rock designer but wearing a knockoff. I mean, it just don't hit the same. I'm sorry. Okay, girl. I'm sorry.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Point
Yes. I
For
know.
starters, all you have right now, truly, is Deron Bland. And even though he's a luxury to have in terms of his ball hawking ability, he's got to have some help. Yes, there's Kalen Carson, but the rookie spent half of the season sideline nursing a shoulder injury, and when he was healthy, he was somewhat a liability. Love you, my dog.
It's too late.
He's young. He's got some developing, learning to do in this league. Of course, you have Trayvon Diggs, but he's out for a major part of the 2025 season as well. I say all that to say, you need some heavyweight in that cornerback room. Someone that you know is going to make plays on and off the field. On the field, let's take it back to 2017. Jordan came in as a 3rd-round pick and literally had to fight his way from a rotational piece to being a starter. Not only that, but becoming a team's lone ball hawk prior to Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland becoming Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland. Can we talk about him fighting his way back into 2023 from a career-threatening foot injury? Hello. It was a shattered foot that left him with no arc, by the way, and still finished as one of the best all-around corners in the league and top playmakers for the Dallas Cowboys. 2024, how about him having a career year, highest coverage grade, by the way, and holding opponents to 3 or fewer receptions in 10 of the 16 regular season games played, and 9 games where he held opponents to fewer than 20 receiving yards.
Come on, stats.
Please name 5 to 10 corners that can play nickel and boundary corner and do it well. Please name 5 to 10 corners that are willing to come down and make plays in the run game. Please name 5 to 10 other corners in this league that average 11 yards per reception allowed. I'll wait. Jay Lu's played snaps where he's aligned as a D lineman, in the box, free safety, and of course corner. Having that kind of luxury with a corner is priceless. I'm not doing the whole stats and numbers thing too much in this letter because that's something y'all have access to, so let me get to my next one. On top of Jay Lu being a straight dog, for real, he's a well-respected guy in that locker room. He's competitive, has an off-the-chart work ethic, willing to teach the younger guys that come into the organization, a guy that the coaches never complain about. Never hear any outside noise about him as well. He's about family, don't take no crap from nobody, and most of all, loves this organization. And the best thing about it all, there's still more in the tank for him. Trust me. He's a guy who's already proven he can hang with the best and can be the best. Why risk starting over? Let's tighten up. Let's tighten up. I believe in y'all. Sincerely, Hutch in the clutch.
Okay.
It's Hutch in the clutch for me.
It's that. for me.
Okay.
All right, letter.
Love Jay Lu.
Are you gonna mail
That's
that?
a long letter.
No.
I would mail it to somebody.
I have some
I
stamps
thought
in
you
here,
was gonna
probably.
say. I thought you was gonna say when you said I say all that to say. I thought you was gonna say it.
Let her
at the
cook.
end of
You
the
cooked.
day.
You cooked, sis.
You cooked.
We all cooked.
Y'all all cooked. Y'all
love
did.
it.
Y'all did. The
I love all
cooking.
everybody's
Great.
choices.
Good job, everyone.
Can't go
Great,
wrong
guys.
with anybody's choices.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think
Yeah.
You ain't got no
I
DTs.
almost did. My second choice almost was Eric Kendricks. But then I was like 33 years old.
Yeah.
Let me just be realistic, so I didn't do it. But I would like to just say Jay Lu would have been my second choice if I didn't take him, because Eric Kendricks had the highest defensive snaps. And he was injured, and I saw him out there fighting to be on the field, knowing there was nowhere to go in this postseason. That stood out to me about Eric Kendricks. But 2, Jay Lu was the second.
He improved also as well
He did.
as the season went on. Towards the latter part of the season, you saw him. I mean, obviously he was dealing with the back through the season and things like that, but I did see improvement from him. It just seemed like things slowed down for him a little bit. I think it had a lot to do with, him coming back from the injury as well.
but-
Is safety a need, ladies? Let's move on. We gotta go. We gotta
you
go.
got Dono. That's his contract's up in 2026, I believe.
Yes.
But Marquise Bell, he had the elbow injury
Right.
this past year. I think Wanye had some form of a.
Josh Butler.
Yeah.
He's at
It
the
was
end
a
of
knee
his.
injury.
Oh, that was the other thing when we were talking about corners, and I was just, it's like I'm here and I see it, but like to read it and go over the stats, like the Cowboys' 6 top corners: Diggs, Bland, Jay Lu, Carson, Ao, Butler, all dealt with injuries, all missed games, to the point where Andrew Booth, we did that swap in Oxnard with, I remember reporting on that, was in, and you mentioned liability with Carson. When I think of liability, no disrespect, it was Andrew Booth every time I saw.
It's the rest. It's the depth. All the depth.
It's
For real. We're
hurting.
being honest.
It's
And it's
hurting.
no shade to them. It's just they're not ready.
Right.
And yeah, that's just.
Well,
depth.
and the question is that the injury bug from last season, or is that going to kind of wiggle its way back into this season and have like lasting effects? That's my question about the depth.
Dang, they're gonna have to go in free agency because I mean the draft. You ain't even got enough draft picks to be doing
to
all
clean
of
it
that,
up.
To clean it up. I mean, I didn't stress myself out again.
Eberflus did say that Osa is a guy that they've all been talking about that they like. So I'm hoping that means they're fighting for
They got 20 million in
Yeah.
the bank.
Osa back.
I also
right.
feel like if Osa had the chance to stay, he would. He's always
I
thoroughly
believe
talked
so
about
as
how much
well.
he enjoys this team and being in
And he's
Dallas.
so in the he's so in the community.
Yes,
very
he's very
involved.
involved. His philanthropy
Yeah.
is something that he holds very close to him.
Yep.
But you ain't got. He your only 3 tech.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but
Well, now that you've stressed everyone out for the week.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stress. Y'all said to write the letter.
We did.
This was great, guys.
Bye, y'all.
On that note, for Aisha Morrison, Jess Navarez, Brianna Aldridge, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all back here next week. Peace.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?